Welcome back to Unlimited Reads. You're with Chris, and thank you so much for joining me for my first video in what seems like forever. I have been away from BookTube for a little while now, just dealing with some personal things, but I won't go into that here because today I'm going to be doing a small book haul to share some purchases with you that I have acquired over the last month or two. Now, if you want to find out a little bit about what's been going on, I have released a short video recently just to give a heads up that I am coming back, and I'm going to be coming back in a limited capacity, so I'm not going to force it. I'm going to ease my way back in, and I thought what better way to ease myself back in than doing a book haul video, which are always fun to film. They don't require much thought. It's basically just a show and tell. So pretty excited. It isn't a massive stack of books to show you, but let's kick it off with the first one off the pile. Now, I recently bought and read a copy of Mystic River by Dennis Lehane. Now, this one piqued my curiosity after watching the YouTube or BookTube book club, the Illuminati, made up of John from Talking Story, Mike at Mike's Book Reviews, Brian Bell over at BellTube, and of course Dr. Philip Chase. They had their discussion video, which was made up of spoilers and non-spoilers at the beginning, so I will have to go back and watch the spoiler section. But after watching the video and the build-up leading up to that video, me being a FOMO reader, I thought I'm going to pick this up. And I know of the adaptation from the early 2000s. I hadn't actually seen it before, I don't think, so I'm looking forward to watching the adaptation. But this book, I plan on putting up a review video in the coming days, so watch out for this. But this book absolutely blew me away. It was written really, really well. It had a very engaging, very smooth style, similar to Ordinary Grace by William Kent Kruger. That's another book I loved last year, and this one just left me speechless and blew me away, and I will talk about that in a lot more detail in my forthcoming review, which will be my first book review in a long time, so I'm looking forward to sharing my thoughts with you there. Okay, next one is a bit of historical fiction, which I've never really read Herman Wouk before, but I actually picked up a really cheap second-hand copy of The Winds of War, which is the first book in a duology. I think War and Remembrance is the second one to this one. It's an absolute brick. It is 941 pages, and the font is really, really small, so we'll see how I go. But when I'm going to get to this one, I don't know, but I've heard that it is a cracker of a read. I believe there was a TV mini-series done for this years and years and years ago, but I don't mind the cover for this one with the illustration up the top. It's actually quite striking, but yeah, sounds really good. Okay, coming up next, now I've got a trilogy here that I bought a box set for, and this was recommended by The Book Guy. If you haven't checked out his channel, he is a fellow Australian, and he is a lot of fun on his channel, and he recently discussed these three books, and I thought I'm going to go out and buy the trilogy. It cost me $12 from Kmart here in Australia, which represents pretty good value in my opinion, and I'm talking about the Morrigan Crow, Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow, the first book in the trilogy. I think it's the first one, yep. And the quality of this book is just amazing. It's got really good paper quality, a really nice, easy to read font, which is tailor-made for the age group this is intended for. But he actually really liked it and recommended it, and I thought, well, why not give it a go? I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it, but that's the first book. The second one is called Wondersmith. The artwork on these is absolutely beautiful. I love it. And the third one is Hollowpox. You can see the giant cats on the cover there. They obviously play a fairly big part in the series. I believe Jessica Townsend has a projected 10-book series planned for this, and I think book number 4 comes out very, very soon. So if I want to jump on the bandwagon, I better get cracking and start these at some point. Alright, now these are interesting. When I was on my hiatus from BookTube, I was reading a little bit of Warhammer, and I decided that there's so many books in the Warhammer literary series from the Black Library, it isn't even a joke, and I thought I wouldn't mind giving some of them a go. And I thought you could go with Warhammer 40k, or you can look at Age of Sigmar, which is what I ultimately decided to do. And I did read The Gates of Azir, which was the first book in the series, and it's all about the war between the forces of Chaos and the Stormcast Elementals. It's just absolutely sick. The first book I brought was War for the Mortal Realms, which is a bind-up of some of the most prolific, most popular authors in the Black Library writing for Warhammer, and this one contains a few stories there based in the Mortal Realms, where the first wars take place, the Realmgate Wars more specifically. And then I have something from set in the old world of Warhammer, and that is a fantasy series which looks really amazing to me, and that is I've picked up the first Omni edition of Gotrek and Felix, who are a duo that battles the forces of evil, and this is the first of, I think, about 8 omnibus editions. So there's a large body of work about these characters, and these are actually absolute chunkers, and the text is pretty small, but I hope to get to some of these soon, because after having a taste of The Gates of Azir and another novella that I read shortly after, I was infatuated with it because it's just so brilliant. And I think more booktubers need to have a look at these and talk about them, because the body of work is just so expansive. The universe in Warhammer is just mind-blowing. I mean, you think about Star Trek and Star Wars, it fails in comparison with the huge body of work available. Alright. Now, I've got a couple of recent releases here. John McMahon is an author I haven't heard of, and I think this might actually be his debut novel. Let me just see here, don't quote me. Oh no, it's his 3rd novel. This one's called Head Cases, which is about a special group that gets put together to investigate various crimes. And I love me a good crime novel, and this one looks pretty good. And I've got the latest Grady Hendrix book, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, which I've heard nothing but good things about. Grady Hendrix, I really liked My Best Friend's Exorcism last year, or the year before I think it was. It was a brilliant book, and I remember liking Grady Hendrix's style a lot, and I can't wait to get stuck into this one. But it sounds really, really good, and yeah, can't wait to get started. Okay, last couple I've picked up the latest Dean Koontz book, and that is The Forest of Lost Souls, which is the latest one. He churns out books like it's going out of fashion, and he's very, very prolific. And I am behind on my Dean Koontz reading. I do need to finish The House at the End of the World, and also have to read Afterlife as well. And there's also The Bad Weather Friend, which I need to read as well. But yeah, I'm a little bit behind, but when I can get to this one, I'm not quite sure. But sounds like a cracker of a read to me. Okay, and the last book I'm going to show you today is something by Murakami. I've never read him before. I do know of 1Q84, and I do plan on reading that one day, but this was such an attractive book, and I have heard good things about it, and I'm talking about The City and Its Uncertain Walls. Now, I'll just read the cover copy to you just to share that with you, because it sounds really, really interesting. When a young man's girlfriend mysteriously vanishes, he sets his heart on finding the imaginary city where the true self lives. His search will lead him to take a job in a remote library with mysteries of its own. When he finally makes it to the walled city, a shadowless place of horned beasts and willow trees, he finds his beloved working in a different library, a dream library, but she has no memory of their life together in the other world, and as the lines between reality and fantasy start to blur, he must decide what he's willing to lose. A love story, a quest, an ode to books and the libraries that house them, the city and its uncertain walls is a parable for these strange times. So it sounds pretty cool. It's a beautiful hardback edition with really nice end paper, as you can see there. And yeah, who knows when I'll get to it, but I've got a lot of reading to do. But as far as my reading goes, my reading has actually slowed down a fair bit, so now I'm reading purely for the joy of it when I can get the time. Last year I found that I was in a race and I rushed through a few books. I did absorb the material, but found myself reading a little bit too quickly and just racing to a finish line, which didn't need to happen. I've just realised that I want to read for me and enjoy what I read, and if it takes me month to read a book, then so be it. I'm not going to rush it. There's no fire. There's no rules that say I have to finish a book in a certain time like I have been, and just taking a much more relaxed approach to my reading. So there you go, guys. That is it for my book haul today. Only a small one, but thank you so much for watching. The content won't come as regularly as it has been at the moment because I'm easing back into it. Just whenever I feel like it, I will actually do a video and post it up. So if you're patient with me, I'll eventually get back to full capacity at some point in the year, but at the moment I'm just taking things slow. But thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing. But until the next video, guys, happy reading.